Are you ready to learn some great new things? Because it's time to leap into science. Hello everyone. Today we're looking at animal skins. Lots of animals have really beautiful skin, don't they? That's why they look different to one another. People like to put animals into different groups. I think we can see maybe 3 or 4 different animal groups in our picture. Do you know some animal groups? Let's have a think. Oh, we've got 3 very different animal groups there. Now, we're not going to say elephant. We want the name of the group of animals that it belongs to. Here we have mammals, birds, and insects. 3 very different groups of animals. There's some really beautiful skin. What's that from? One way we know which group an animal belongs to is by looking at their skin. What animal's this? It's a giraffe with really beautiful skin. Well, again, we've got 3 very different groups of animals there. And if we could touch a snake, a frog, and a fish, they would all feel different. But different in what way? Well, that's what we're going to look at today. The different skins. They would feel very, very different, wouldn't they? So, let's look at 6 different animal groups and their different skins. Oh, well, I don't really want to feel his skin, but let's think about it. We will start with mammals. The lion is a mammal. Oh, what about us? Well, this one is easy because we are mammals. Look at your skin. The skin of all mammals has hair. Sometimes we call it fur. The cat is furry. But hair and fur, they're the same thing. Sometimes it is difficult to see, like on a sea lion. He doesn't really look furry, does he? But he's got some hair. If you get very, very close and look carefully at his skin, you can see hair or fur. We know what that is. Next, we have birds. Oh, what's that? Their skin is covered in feathers. They can be many different colours, but all birds have feathers. Look how many colours we have here. He's a very proud peacock. All birds have feathers, and only birds have feathers. So, if you see a feather, you're looking at a bird. Now it gets a bit tricky. Oh dear. Okay, well we know what it is. It's a snake. But they are reptiles. Reptiles have scaly skin. That's a good word. Scaly skin. Oh, now that's a bit scary, but we need to look carefully. Scales are like overlapping squares of skin. If we look very closely at this snake's skin, we can see lots of shapes all over his body. Now, they're not quite square, but they are all overlapping. Reptiles have dry scales. Here we've got a crocodile. He's a reptile, and he's got dry scales. Some reptiles live in water, but when they come out of the water, their scales dry out. So when the crocodile is sitting next to the river, his scales are dry. Well, again, we know what it is. We see scales on other animals as well. Look closely at the fish. Fish have scales. Wow, some of them are very beautiful, aren't they? Many different colours. They look nearly the same, but with one very important difference. So, the reptile has dry scales. Fish scales are always wet. Now we know that the fish are always in the water, but their scales are always wet. This is because they are covered in a thin layer of mucus. Good word, isn't it? Mucus. That's sort of like a thin, sticky, gooey slime. You've got some mucus up your nose sometimes, and that mucus covers the fish to keep them wet. Oh, well, it's a frog this time. Amphibians are the only animals with smooth skin. No hair, no feathers, no scales. Super smooth. They do have to stay wet though, or they have big problems. Their skin is quite thin, and if it goes dry, it will start to crack, and that would not be good. Again, we know what it is. That just leaves insects. I like insects. There are so many of them. They are very different because they have an exoskeleton. What's that? Their hard skeleton is on the outside of their body. We have got hard skeletons, our bones, but they're on the inside, aren't they? The insects have their skeleton on the outside of their body. Does that mean that they don't have skin? Well, let me think. Maybe we could say that the exoskeleton is a special type of skin. We could say that the skin is the outer protective layer of any animal. Then that means that the exoskeleton of the insect is their skin. Very beautiful. I do like insects. So, what have we looked at? 6 different groups. Mammals have fur. Birds have feathers. Reptiles have dry scales. Fish have wet scales. Amphibians have smooth, wet skin. And insects have a hard exoskeleton. They all help us to put animals into groups. 6 main groups. How many different groups can you see there? We can't see all 6. Go and check out some other animals. Look at an animal. Try and look at its skin. Which group would you put the animal into? I think that has given me a lot to think about. See you soon, guys. Bye. Thank you for watching our video today. Please don't forget, subscribe, and that will help us to make lots more videos for you. Thank you. Bye.